So you are a new dad or you're about to become a new dad and you're wondering what's the deal with paid family leave. You could be eligible for up to $12,320 of tax-free money for essentially taking time off from work and enjoying bonding time with your new child. This video is going to specifically apply to California dads or soon-to-be dads that are either self-employed or work for a company that does not provide FMLA or any leave programs within the company. So that's typically going to be companies with 50 people or less, or self-employed dads who pay themselves a paycheck and pay into SDI. I'm going to walk you through not only how to file, but when you need to file, if you're eligible, and how to calculate out what your benefits are going to be.
Stay until the end to hear my strategy for making the most money during your paid family leave.
First off, who qualifies? As I mentioned, new dads with proof. Now, if you're a dad who is adopted, or is fostering a child or having a biological child, you are eligible. And I say with proof because you are going to need to submit the appropriate documents. Like for myself, for example, we submitted the birth certificate for our new baby. You need to have had reportable income within the last 18 months. So I did a paid family leave video for mothers, and people often asked, wonder if I'm currently unemployed, but I was employed previously. So if you are employed or unemployed, but actively looking for work, as long as you've had some sort of reportable income within the last 18 months, you are eligible for paid family leave. The next qualification for eligibility is that you're not receiving a paycheck. So you cannot work and have a check coming in, but also apply for paid family leave. You do actually need to not be receiving a paycheck when you apply for paid family leave. And lastly, as I mentioned, if you're self-employed or working for a smaller company, you just need to make sure that within the last 18 months, you've been paying into SDI, or on a lot of paychecks, it's labeled CASDI. When to file. You cannot file for leave before you've actually started leave. So you have to not be receiving a paycheck, and you can file up to 41 days after your leave has began. So I'm going to put 0 to 41 days. As I mentioned, you do need to file within 12 months of welcoming your new baby. How does the process work? How do you file? Basically, you just go onto the EDD website, create a profile, fill out the super simple application, upload the proof of documentation. As I mentioned, we used our son's birth certificate, and you wait about 2 weeks. From there, you will receive either a check in the mail or a debit card with the funds loaded on them, and that's your choice which way you want to receive the funds. So how much can you expect to get paid for paid family leave? So you will get paid for up to 8 weeks of leave. So you can take 8 weeks off within 12 months of having your first kid, and they will calculate out the wages by looking at the last 5 to 18 months of wages, and they will look at your highest paying quarter. So say in your highest paying quarter, you made an average of $1,000 per week. You would be making in paid family leave benefits $600 per week, 60% of $1,000, and you would get paid that for 8 weeks. So your total, if you were to take the full 8 weeks off, would be $4,800. And I will include the calculator to plug in your personal wages and calculate out the benefits so you can see exactly how much you should expect to be making. As I mentioned, there is a max allowance. So if you make, for example, $100,000 a week, they are not going to pay 60% of that. There is a max. If you make very, very little per week, you may receive up to 70% of your wages rather than 60. So when you use that calculator online, you can anticipate and budget for your family to know exactly how much you should expect to be making.
The strategy to maxing out your paid family leave benefits is timing. You have an entire year to use your paid family leave. So if you have flexibility as far as when you can take leave and your wages have varied in the past, consider what your payout would be if you took leave right after the baby was born versus 12 months after. Maybe you recently received a raise or have recently become employed, in which case it would make sense to wait. I highly encourage using the calculator and timing when to take leave so you can maximize your payout.
So if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. I try to get back to everyone right away. And if you have any advice for those taking paid family leave or any FAQs that you've found helpful, definitely leave them below as well. And we will see you on the next video.